I think protein might be one of the most overcomplicated topics in the fitness industry. And before you start typing angry comments, I'm not saying protein doesn't matter. I'm saying that once you're already eating enough, more protein might be doing absolutely nothing for your gains. In fact, it might be making your results worse. Less carbs, more money spent, a harder diet to stick to, and an unhealthy obsession with hitting a number that probably doesn't even matter. When I went from 74 kilos down to 68 kilos, I didn't increase my protein. I didn't add extra shakes. I didn't start suddenly eating 250 grams a day. I kept my protein exactly 160 grams a day. I kept muscle and the body fat came off. And I actually looked better at 68 kilos than I did at 74, which raises a question. If more protein automatically means more muscle, why didn't I need more as I got leaner? Today, I'm going to show you the 3 biggest problems with excessive protein targets. Number 1, why they can steal calories from carbs and hurt your training performance. Number 2, why they cost you more money without necessarily improving your results. And number 3, why they can make your diet harder to stick to. Because I think most lifters worrying about whether they're eating 180 grams a day or 220 grams of protein are worrying about the wrong thing. My name is Adam and I've been a fitness coach for over a decade and I've helped hundreds of people lose body fat, build muscle, and completely transform their physiques without following any extreme diets. And one thing I've noticed over and over again is that people massively overestimate how much protein they actually need. They're stressing about protein targets whilst ignoring the things that actually make the biggest difference: training quality, calorie intake, recovery, and consistency. So let's look at what the research actually says. And before we get started, if you would like to take the guesswork and doubt out of how much you should be eating day to day and if you're getting enough protein, you can get 4 weeks of free coaching personalized for you with targets for protein, calories, carbs, and fats. And I've linked it in the description below. I'll tell you how much protein, how many calories, how much fats, and how much carbs you should be consuming. Now let's get into the video. Reason number 1, extra protein can displace carbs. Layne Norton, one of the most known people in the health and fitness industry, points to research showing that muscle growth appears to be maximized around about 1.6 grams per kilo of body weight, and with benefits generally tapering off around 2.2 grams per kilo of body weight. That's roughly 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of body weight. Now here's where people get into trouble. Let's say you're dieting on 2,200 calories. You decide you're going to eat 220 grams of protein because somebody online told you that's the minimum. That's 880 calories. Add 60 grams of fat and suddenly you're left with 195 grams of carbs. And for some people, that's absolutely fine. But for many people that are training 4, 5, 6 times a week, those calories might be better off spent elsewhere because carbohydrates fuel performance. They replenish glycogen, they help support training intensity, and training intensity is what tells your body to keep muscle. Once protein intake is already sufficient, allocating even more calories to protein may not provide any more additional muscle building benefits. Those calories may simply be more useful elsewhere. And that's where most people get this wrong. Building muscle isn't just about eating more protein. It's about creating a training stimulus that forces your body to adapt. And that becomes much harder when your performance suffers. Reason number 2, more protein isn't free. Let's clear up another myth. Protein isn't magic. It still contains calories, and calories still count. A lot of people become so obsessed with hitting high protein numbers that they stop actually paying attention to the thing that drives fat loss: your total calorie intake. Every extra scoop, every extra chicken breast, every protein snack, every protein dessert, individually may seem harmless, but collectively they add up. And if they push you above your calorie target, your progress for losing body fat is going to slow down. Not because protein is fattening, but because energy balance matters more. The other thing nobody talks about is cost. Protein is expensive. Lean meat is expensive. Protein powders can be expensive, and protein snacks are ridiculously expensive because they are a marketing tool. If you're already eating enough protein to maximize results, spending more money isn't buying you any more muscle. It's just going to be making your monthly food shop more expensive. And before someone comments, but what about bodybuilders eating 300 grams a day? Most of those guys weigh significantly more than the average person watching this video. Many of them are preparing for extreme physiques like Mr. Olympia. That doesn't apply to the average gym goer. Your nutrition should match your goals. If you're enjoying this video and want to see what I get up to day to day, how I train, how I eat, and just general behind the scenes, then you can follow me on Instagram. And don't forget to grab your 4 weeks of free coaching linked in the description below, where I'll give you a calorie target, protein target, carbs, and fats target, all personalized to you to help you achieve your goal. Reason number 3, more protein can make your diet harder to follow. Here's the reason nobody talks about. Some people feel absolutely fine on high protein intakes, but others don't. Once protein gets very high, some people report bloating, digestive discomfort, excessive fullness, and honestly, they just get sick of eating protein all day. And the issue isn't protein's harmful. The issue is that adherence matters a lot. So if your diet becomes harder to follow, your results are going to become worse. If you're already consuming enough protein to maximize your muscle growth and retention, forcing down more protein is going to make your diet less enjoyable without providing any extra benefits. And let's be honest, if you've ever sat there at 10 p.m. staring at another dry chicken breast because MyFitnessPal said you're 40 grams short of your protein intake, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The best diet isn't the one with the highest protein intake. It's the one that you can actually stick to. So what's the takeaway? Protein matters a lot, but more isn't always better. For most lifters, somewhere between 0.7 and 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight is plenty. And remember, 1 gram per pound of body weight is already at the top end of most evidence-based recommendations, not the minimum. Once you're eating enough protein to maximize muscle growth and recovery, adding more doesn't automatically mean more muscle. It simply means fewer carbs, a bigger food bill, and a harder diet to stick to. I got from 74 kilos down to 68 kilos, eating 160 grams of protein throughout. The protein preserved the muscle and the calorie deficit removed the body fat. Simple. Most lifters spend far too much time worrying about whether they're eating 180 grams or 220 grams of protein a day, when training quality, calorie intake, recovery, and consistency are likely to matter far more. So before you force down another shake tonight, ask yourself one question: am I eating enough protein? Or am I just chasing a number? If you would like 4 weeks of free coaching that will give you calorie and protein targets personalized for you, click the link below. And if you are struggling to lose belly fat fast, then go and watch this video and I'll give you 3 rules that you can follow.